Today, we're talking about keeping the initiative. This is an extremely powerful tool used by the best fighters. They're masters at this. If you want to perform better, you have to understand initiative, as it's often confused with speed. In this video, I'll cover not only why it's confused with speed, I'll cover how to use it to your advantage, and what to do if your opponent has the initiative. A lot of times, people think I'm faster than what I really am, and they'll blame getting hit due to me being quick. But in reality, it's because I stole the initiative and I kept them reacting. Reaction is slower than action. They aren't getting hit because I'm faster, they're getting hit because I initiated the action first and kept them in obedience by keeping the initiative. By keeping the initiative, you can gain time and the opportunity to control your opponent's movements and options. So what does initiative even mean in our system? Initiative is when you initiate an action that forces your opponent to respond. If I initiate an action and you move in response to my action, I've put you into obedience and stolen the initiative. Here's an example. I extend my sword and you parry and riposte, or I lunge and you retreat. Not only does your action start after mine, but your brain also has to come up with a response, which puts you even more behind on time. The more time it takes, the slower your physical actions will feel and the faster mine will seem. Now that you know what initiative is, let's cover how to use it to your advantage. Simply put, as long as you have the initiative, you need to keep it. If you're attacking, do not stop attacking until you lose the initiative. If they stop reacting or regain control, then you should stop pressing because now you've lost the initiative. If you lose the initiative, you must regain it. There's many ways to do this. I'll cover one of my preferred ways. If I'm attacking and they stop reacting the way I want, I will step back and retreat. If they advance to follow my retreat, then they are now advancing in reaction to my retreat, which means they are once again reacting and they are therefore back into obedience, and I once again have the initiative because I initiated this new exchange. If they did not follow, then it would not have triggered a new exchange of movements and I would not have regained the initiative. But since they did follow, I stole back the initiative. And since I have the initiative, when they step forward to follow my retreat, I will attack them as they step to catch them in tempo. Due to me initiating this new exchange and catching them in tempo, they're not only behind on time, they're also stuck in a movement, and their brain has to register a correct new response. All of this takes a lot of time. A lot of people getting hit by this situation will be like, oh, you're so fast. But in reality, the attack just seemed faster than what it really was, because I initiated an action that they had to react to. Then when they tried to react, they were already stuck in a movement, so their brain couldn't react the way it originally wanted to, which then forces their brain to have to figure out another correct response, which takes even more time. This, in return, makes them feel very slow, and the opponent seemed faster than what they really were. Speed in fencing isn't only about raw speed. It's also about timing, controlling reactions, and positioning to make everything your opponent does take longer, and everything you do take less time. Therefore, getting you what you want quicker. I'll be making a video on all the ways that you can increase your overall speed physically and through time, so subscribe if you want to catch it. But now, let's cover what to do if someone else has the initiative. If someone else has the initiative, there's two ways you can make them lose it, either through distance or through force. First, let's cover distance because it's the safer of the two options. If they stole the initiative, you need to create space, and not a small amount of space. It needs to be enough space that they would have to use two tempos in order to threaten you. By forcing them to use two tempos, you can regain the initiative within one of their tempos. If they can hit you with a one-tempo attack, you did not gain enough space. The second option is force. You can gain control of their weapon or present a threat that they have to respond to. An example of gaining control would be gaining their blade or beating their weapon. Now they have to spend a tempo to get their weapon back to a threatening state, meaning they no longer have a one tempo attack. You can also combine force and distance, which ends up being the safest method. You can do this by retreating and beating their sword. This way is a bit safer and you don't have to retreat as far back. So now to review. Gain the initiative to control your opponent and slow them down. If the opponent gains the initiative, use distance or force to reset the pace. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.